A very good evening to all our viewers. This is WION Wallet. I'm Sumit Chaturvedi. Let's go straight to our top headlines. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway loses $58 million after United debacle, where a passenger was dragged out of an overbooked flight. State-owned fuel retailers in India plan to implement daily revision of fuel prices in 5 cities from May 1st. Top oil exporter Saudi Arabia tells OPEC that it wants to extend the cartel's agreement to cut crude oil production for another 6 months. And cash crunch forces Qantas Airways of Australia to stop selling flight tickets in Zimbabwe. Now straight to our top story from India, where state-owned fuel retailers plan to implement daily revision of fuel prices in 5 cities from May 1st. To begin with, daily revision of fuel prices will be implemented in Puducherry and Vizag in southern India, Udaipur in the west, Jamshedpur in the east and Chandigarh in the north. State refiners in India currently revise fuel prices every fortnight to reflect volatility in the currency and global oil markets. Oil prices hike has always been a contentious issue, often resulting in political backlash. As of now, state-owned oil companies revise fuel prices every fortnight. The price revision is to reflect volatility in currency and global oil market prices. The revision will be made possible using modern technologies. Prices will be centrally changed and conveyed to filling stations across the country. In another oil-linked story, Saudi Arabia has told OPEC officials that it wants to extend Qatar's agreement to cut crude oil production for another 6 months when group meets in May. Last year, group committed to cut 1.2 million barrels of oil per day. It helped raise oil prices by about 20%. The prices of crude have now stalled at $56 a barrel, and the cuts have not drained the oil inventories as fast as expected. While the underlying objective of the cut is to raise prices, OPEC currently seems to be watching global inventories in storage, which soared to record levels when crude was cheap. Earlier, Russia came along and supported the cut, but now it is consulting with its oil companies to see if extending the cut is possible and feasible at all. Moving to aviation, where Qantas Airways of Australia has told travel agents not to sell flight tickets in Zimbabwe. Well, Qantas told travel agents to stop selling tickets for its flights after International Air Transport Association, or IATA, warned it's getting harder to move funds out of the country, Zimbabwe. The carrier is owed a substantial amount by Bank Settlement Plan, the system that IATA uses to transfer local ticket revenue to airlines. The move is an early sign that airlines may be scaling back operations in the southern African country, which is battling a shortage of banknotes that's forced lenders to cap customer withdrawals and seen retailers offer large discount for cash payments. Zimbabwe has mainly used the dollar since economic mismanagement and runaway inflation rendered its own currency worthless 8 years ago. Cash is king in Mugabe's Zimbabwe as dollar supply dries up. From Qantas to Walmart, where Walmart has opened a new battlefront in its price war with Amazon, and now it's enlisting its online shoppers. Walmart stores will offer pickup discounts to US shoppers on items they order online and pick up in store as it revamps its e-commerce offerings at a faster pace to close the gap with larger rival Amazon.com. Online orders picked up in store already qualify for no shipping charges since retailer saves on shipping fees. The latest discounts come on top of that. Walmart is not only planning to play on offline, but online orders too. $50 orders are common for an Ultra HD television. That's an example how Walmart is trying to woo its offline customers. Now to big global story of the day, where Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has lost around $58.5 million after United Airlines debacle. It is the largest owner of United Continental Holdings shares. Berkshire owns 28.9 million United shares, or about 9% of all outstanding shares. When the markets closed on Monday, that stake was worth $2.07 billion, and it fell as the markets opened on Tuesday. Investors shrugged the initial backlash on Monday, but caused a sell-off on Tuesday as the video spread around the world. And in China, United Airlines' largest source of revenue outside US, United shares fell by up to 4% as a video showing a passenger being dragged off one of the airline's flights went viral. The airline had offered $1,000 to make room for crew members after the flight was overbooked. Staying with United, where United Airlines CEO Oscar Munoz, after social media pressure, apologized. He said, and I quote, "I am sorry, we will fix this. I deeply apologize to the customer forcibly removed and to all the customers aboard. No one should ever be mistreated this way." End quote. The US Department of Transportation has launched an inquiry into the incident, and New Jersey Governor Chris Christie called for new rules to curb the airline practice of overbooking flights. On Monday, Munoz issued a memo to employees defending the company but not apologizing to the passenger. Even as United Airlines is facing severe criticism from all across the social media for dragging a man off its plane, its CEO has been awarded with the Communicator of the Year award. Describing CEO as the charismatic CEO of United Airlines, the US PR Week magazine awarded Munoz the honor for transforming the fortunes of beloved airline. An article in the magazine read, and I quote, "Munoz has shown himself to be a smart, dedicated and excellent leader who understands the value of communications. His ability to connect and share with the employees his vision for the airlines and get them to rally behind it." The video showing the Vietnamese American doctor being dragged off United Airlines flight has attracted attention of more than 480 million users on the different websites. China's Twitter-like platform Weibo, where it is also been shared. Also, shares of United Airlines parent United Continental Holdings fell almost 4% in early trade on Tuesday. Meanwhile, protests have broken out in US against incident. The Asian American community in Chicago staged a demonstration against the airline and vowed to fight back against what they claim is racial injustice. Social media is abuzz too with the United Airlines story. Cartoonists are having a field day, and so are rival airlines. Take a look at these. And staying with the United story, a United flight in US where a passenger was dragged out violently is not the only incident. Frequent fights can be seen on Indian airports too when flights are overbooked in India and in other countries. The practice is quite prevalent. WION finds out why and how overbooking is done. While this sight may be an exception in India, such fights between flight attendants and passengers are not uncommon here on the issue of overbooking. Indian carriers including Air India, Jet Airways, Indigo have been denying boarding to a few hundred passengers every month. But overbooking, which is selling more seats than available, is a global phenomena prevalent in sectors with perishable seats, such as hotels, taxi operators, and of course, airlines. Airlines say overbooking is done so that seats don't go empty, and it is done for seat optimization, anticipating last-minute cancellations by confirmed passengers. Airlines decide the number of seats to be overbooked on a flight using various methods. Airlines use sophisticated algorithms to predict cancellation and no-show pattern on specific routes and overbook some flights by a small number accordingly. But airlines will have to compensate passengers who also get bumped off. In cases of denied boarding, airlines are bound by DGCA regulations to provide compensation. This ranges from providing alternative arrangements, refund of fares, or monetary compensation for the inconvenience caused. The airline, in case of overbooking, has to first ask for volunteers to give up their seats to make them available for other booked passengers. In exchange, the airline may offer such volunteers benefits and facilities at its discretion. Passengers denied boarding on flights of foreign airlines flying to or from India are also entitled to compensation. It will be the higher amount as per the rules in airline's country of origin or as per the DGCA rules in India. In the US, financial compensation for passengers denied boarding has been increased sharply to dissuade airlines from overbooking rampantly. Meanwhile, you can improve your chances of not being bumped off by reporting for the flight well on time or doing web check-in. This also ensures one doesn't get bumped off from aircraft due to overbooking. But if your airline is overbooked and boarding is denied, boarding passenger can't drag the airline to court. The rule book globally allows this practice. Bureau Report, WION. Now moving to auto sector, where Japan's Toyota Motor is afraid of growth slowing down in the US auto market as it has peaked and will shrink this year. The Japanese car maker believes manufacturers are using unprecedented incentives to support passenger cars through slumping demand. Industry-wide deliveries may decline to as low as 17 million vehicles from last year's record of about 17.5 million vehicles. After 7 straight years of growth, US auto sales have declined in each of the first 3 months of 2017. The slowdown has contributed to a new vehicle inventory glut, plus a flood of cars returning to the used market after their leases expire has started to depress their prices. To clear lots and buoy demand for new autos, manufacturers have been spending an average of more than $4,000 on incentives per vehicle, a record, according to JD Power. Now, Indian credit card users and holders have improved their payment behavior and paying off monthly bills fully. About 78% of Indian credit card users pay off monthly bills fully, leading to an all-time low delinquency rate. This is the most important takeaway from a survey done by TransUnion CIBIL covering 1,100 consumers across 8 metros. India tops the rank in percentage of credit card holders that often make payments in excess of their minimum due on their revolving debts each month compared to other countries. The study observed that 92% of credit card holders often pay a greater amount than the minimum due. If consumers fail to pay the minimum due, they are considered as defaulters. But when consumers pay anything between minimum due and full amount, they are liable to pay 33 to 36% interest rate on that amount, which is very high. And despite frantic attempts to liquidate their stocks of BS3 vehicles in the last 3 days of March, automobile companies in India are saddled with an inventory of 1.2 lakh such vehicles worth 5,000 crore rupees across the country. According to Society of Indian Auto Manufacturers or SIAM, auto companies offered discounts to the tune of 1,200 crore rupees in the last 3 days of March. After Supreme Court imposed a ban on sale of BS3 vehicles from April 1st, most of this unsold inventory includes two-wheelers and commercial vehicles. Many companies are figuring out what to do with them, as not all can be made BS4 compliant by tweaking a few components. Due to some advancing in the sales in the last quarter after Supreme Court verdict on BS4, sales of light commercial vehicles are expected to be weaker, which may impact overall sales growth in fiscal year 2016. As of March 20, automobile companies had inventories of 8.24 lakh BS3 vehicles valued at a staggering 20,000 crore rupees. These included 6.7 lakh two-wheelers and 96,700 commercial vehicles, 40,000 three-wheelers and around 16,200 passenger vehicles. Now, the Federation of Hotel and Restaurant or Association of India or FHRAI is exploring legal remedies with regards to recent Supreme Court order shutting down 1st April 2017 the sale of liquor at establishments which fall within 500 meters range of state and national highways. Total consolidated loss to both states and to industry would be around 2,20,000 crore rupees. The entire industry, including weddings, corporate events, will be negatively affected. Let's hear how the companies are defending them against the Supreme Court order.
Like for example of this Aerocity or hotels.
Oh, we are looking at millions of job. Initial, somebody said 1 million, but I think about 5 crore jobs are going to be lost by this order. Leave aside the kind of money and investment which has been made in the infrastructure will be lost. We had a conversation with the tourism minister, and we also had a meeting with the transport minister, Mr. Gadkari, on whose basically it concerns the highways. So we met both the gentlemen and we told them our side of the story and said that, okay, we thought that initially the order was only for the liquor events and not for the hotels. And now that we've been caught unaware by the Supreme Court's far-reaching order that, nothing can be served close to the highway. So all the hotels and restaurants which have due licenses from excise have been revoked,
Moving to China, where luxury aircraft are set to highlight at the annual 3-day Asian Business Aviation Conference and exhibition which has opened in Shanghai. Now, more than 170 exhibitors from home, that is China and abroad, will participate in the exhibition and show off their latest designs. Over 30 business jets will be open to the public at the exhibition. Large manufacturers including Airbus, Boeing, Embraer, Honeywell and Dassault System are set to display their latest products. Boeing Business Jets, which is seeing unprecedented growth in the Chinese market, has brought the BBJ Business Jet. While it is the same size as 737-700, the private jet comprises a small meeting room and a bedroom too. Airbus Corporate Jet is set to display its AC-J319, which can hold 19 passengers at the same time. Brazilian aircraft manufacturer Embraer has brought to exhibition this year its Lineage 1000, which is equipped with 2 beds and a living room. The aircraft can fly 8,000 kilometers with 19 passengers. With this, it is time for a short break on WION Wallet. After the break, we will continue with our coverage of markets. Stay tuned to WION. Welcome back to WION Wallet after the break. Now straight to our market segment, where Indian benchmark indices have wiped out some previous days' gains as investors maintained cautious stance ahead of macro data later today and earnings season that is due tomorrow. The 30-share BSE Sensex was down 144.87 points at 29,643 points, and 50 shares NSE Nifty fell 33.55 points to 9,203 points. We are joined by our guest Prashant Bansal, who is National Sales Head at Testimony Securities. Good evening, Mr. Bansal. So how do you first of all see this coming down of market today? They fell by more than 100 points. How do you see that happening, and what was the main reason for that?
Good afternoon, Sumit. Nifty closed at a level of 9,203. We are still very close to all-time high on the Nifty. Yes, markets were slightly lower today, but if I were to look at our view on the Nifty, we are cautiously optimistic on the Nifty. But as far as your question is concerned, what happened in the market, I'd like to draw attention of our viewers on the geopolitical tensions which are there in the Korean Peninsula as well as in Syria. So the FI which have been on a downward, FI money has not been flowing into the markets. For the last 2 months in Feb and March, we had seen positive FI flows. But for the current month, we have seen a negative flow of about 711 crores from the FI side. So it's the geopolitical tensions which are spooking the markets. That is one reason. The other is that the result seasons will kick off from tomorrow with Infosys declaring the result. So many of the market participants are cautious on the result season, which is leading to a small amount of fall in the local markets.
All right, Mr. Bansal, thank you for talking to us today. Unfortunately, that's the time we had with Mr. Bansal today. And moving on, and Sydney's soaring house prices are fueling surge in rental demand. Office rents in skyscrapers in Melbourne and Sydney are rising faster than in any other global city. In Melbourne, where the vacancy rate is at 10-year low, rents climbed 11% in the 6 months ended December 31st. Sydney rents, on the other hand, rose 10.1% as office towers are converted to apartments or marked for demolishment to take way for new metro line. At the other end of the spectrum, rents declined in Shanghai, Singapore and Seoul too. That's all today we have for our WION Wallet viewers. For more news and updates, stay tuned to WION and thanks for watching us.